Please subscribe and you can download this code from description below. Performing a basic scipy grid data interpolation using pl/python involves leveraging the power of the scipy.interpolate.griddata function within a PostgreSQL database. This tutorial assumes you have PostgreSQL installed with the pl/python extension enabled. If you haven't done this yet, you can find instructions for your specific system on the PostgreSQL website. Let's go through the steps. Start by creating a database and a table to store your data. In this example, we'll create a table named sample_data with columns X, Y, and Z for the input coordinates and values. Insert some sample data into the table. Replace these values with your actual data. Make sure pl/python is enabled in your PostgreSQL database. Now, create a pl/python function that performs the grid data interpolation using scipy. In this example, the function is named perform_interpolation. Now, you can execute the function to perform the interpolation. This query will return a table with columns X, Y, and interpolated_value, containing the interpolated values for the specified grid. Adjust the grid parameters, interpolation method, and other settings in the perform_interpolation function according to your specific requirements. Remember, this is a basic example, and depending on your use case, you may need to customize the function further. Ensure you have the necessary permissions to create databases, tables, and functions in your PostgreSQL environment. ChatGPT. Performing a basic scipy grid data interpolation using pl/python involves using the scipy.interpolate.griddata function within a pl/python function. This tutorial assumes that you have PostgreSQL with pl/python installed and a basic understanding of Python and SQL. Make sure you have the necessary Python libraries installed on your system. You can install them using the following commands. Ensure that your PostgreSQL database has pl/python installed and enabled. You can check this by running the following SQL command in your database. Let's assume you have a table named sample_data with columns X, Y, and Z representing the coordinates and values. Now, create a pl/python function that performs the interpolation using scipy.interpolate.griddata. Save the following code in a file, example interpolation_function.py. Create a pl/python function that calls the Python function from the file. Save the following code in a file, example plpython_interpolation.sql. Now, you can test the pl/python interpolation function. This should return the interpolated value for the given coordinates, 2.5, 3.5. Adjust the sample data and function parameters according to your specific use case. Keep in mind that this is a basic example, and you may need to adapt the code to your specific data and requirements. ChatGPT.